Oh, the weather outside is frightful.
But inside is like so radical, man.
It's Christmas in July.
Let's review, homeboy.
Let's review.
Oh, let's review.
Season 2 Extreme.
Yeah.
Bum.
I feel like such a dork right now. How are you doing, Blue Dragon? Oh, I forgot the bum.
Yeah.
Bum. Good job. Off to a good start. Did you like my totally tubular rendition? You know, I like to change it up. Yeah. Okay, I'll give you a yeah. All right, so BlueDragonFive. This is actually one I'm really excited about. I wanted to do this last year, but we just didn't have time for it amidst all the other Christmas festivities. So we're finally getting around to it. What?
Yeah, it wasn't in the budget.
No. But now it is. We've afforded the 10-foot longboard of awesomeness. That is a Rocket Xmas, the Rocket Power Christmas special. Yes. So before we really dive into the thick of things, let's kind of just go over our opinions on the show. And obviously, we kind of joked last night, you know, when we teased this episode, that this is really the quintessential 90s cartoon. I mean, it might not be the quintessential one, but it's definitely the most, if you package everything, but to tell you the truth, to be fair, it is more late 90s and early 90s. You know what I mean? So yeah. I'd say it's more quintessentially late 90s, but still, it's just such a time capsule. But BlueDragonFive, what's your relationship with this show?
You know, it was one of the kind of staples within the Nickelodeon Nicktoons programming. You know, it was always just like something whenever you see, it's such an event when you're younger, when you have the ability to go on to not just tune Nickelodeon regularly, but also there was a thing if you had like especially like sort of like the more not the less sophisticated version of on demand, because nowadays it's gotten so advanced. Before it was like it was an event ordering a movie channel. But basically, we had like all these different channels. You go to Nicktoons and they basically play repeats. So you didn't have to worry about all the other like shows that were slowly taking over the 90s as they progressed, slowly drifting into the point where the reruns are becoming less available.
Oh yeah.
Where basically I could tune into Nicktoons on this, not on demand specifically, but like channel like 129. You know what I mean? Like when you get the hundreds, that sort of thing. When that was a new thing.
Yeah, I definitely remember there was a certain point where it was like before YouTube and everything, obviously, where people were just clamoring for those old episodes of the nostalgic stuff, as like sort of the SpongeBob and the Fairly Odd Parents kind of worked its way into the fabric. But this was right before that time period. This was kind of the era before SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents. This was kind of the As Told by Ginger, Rocket Power kind of classic Kuzpo's sort of. It's funny because it's both like one is a very male-dominated show, although it definitely has a strong female character in it.
Yeah.
And the other is obviously, you know, more geared towards the female demographic, although you and I, we both agree, we both enjoy As Told by Ginger. I was certainly a fan of it, you know, when it was airing, just for the character stuff, if anything else. Yeah. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, but yeah, with Rocket Power, you're right. It's within this kind of I kind of nickname it kind of the no longer cell animated. It's like slowly drifting out of cell animation, you know, because you can tell like, you know, a show like Doug or like Cat Dog or even early SpongeBob. That's when they had the you know, that's when they still have the cell animation. Yet Rocket Power seemed more clean in the animation stuff, so it looks like it's kind of drifting into the future, kind of like with As Told by Ginger also had that kind of look.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So basically, yeah, it wasn't that. You're right, T. It was the kind of transition point to the late '90s to the early 2000s. That sort
exactly.
So, yeah, Rocket Power always had kind of these. There was these fun adventure stories, not as whimsical as something like Rugrats, but it was just kind of like you relate more to it because you're a kid growing up. You know, it's like, well, yeah, I could get in the shenanigans if I was in the mystical land of California.
And of course, this was the era of Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and that game was freaking huge, and oh my god, like I, like so many other kids, just played it all the damn time. Like, yeah, that was... even up through when I was in high school, I would play the crap out of that game on my N64.
Yeah, that was the big draw to the show. It's like, hey, you get to see all these sorts of really cool extreme sports done by kids, and it's awesome.
Right, right. Okay, so my personal history with the show is like I definitely kind of instantly connected to the setting because I don't live in Santa Cruz, but I that is like one of my family's, top vacation destinations, or at least it was when I was a kid, just we'd go there all the time. It was kind of like our, go to, and it's only like a few hours away from where I live. Ocean Shores is actually kind of a mishmash of Santa Cruz and Venice Beach, which is obviously kind of the suburb of Los Angeles, the kind of beachy, like weird. Venice Beach is known for more of its kind of funky, weird subculture. Whereas Santa Cruz is obviously known for its boardwalk. It's got a very historic boardwalk, and it's awesome. And I've been there many, many times, and I love it. But so I think Ocean Shores is definitely kind of a combination of that, where you have sort of the touristy, and obviously they make fun of tourists and everything. They have the whole shoobies.
Yeah.
So,
Is it seriously
that?
The setting of this show was always a fun part because it seemed like such an adventurous. It seemed like the ultimate vacation destination almost.
Right, right. And the family was just right in the thick of it. And they were like, and it seemed like they were literally just on a vacation every damn day. And you were like so jealous of these kids because it's just like, oh, you got a theme park, you got a freaking. It always bugged me that they never went to the boardwalk, that they were always out surfing.
No,
they had
went there.
Well, they had like a few episodes devoted to the boardwalk, but like as a kid, it always just like, no, I want to see the rides. Kind of like the same way, in Jurassic Park when they get out of the Carousel of Progress ride. It's like I see the boardwalk and I'm like, no, go there and go on the roller coaster.
Yeah, seriously, Rocket Power it's kind of one of the staples of kind of Nickelodeon in the '90s setting. Because even with the ride, like for me, I know it's for you, it's a little different, but for me, like Universal in Florida, it was always like the Nickelodeon part of the Universal. Theme bar is always fun. It always just strikes me as like, if you were going back to like one of those Disney themed, wrong thing. If you go on Nickelodeon themed hotels, because they kind of copied. I think they copied Disney in sort of the building of a themed hotel. I'm not sure which one came first precisely.
Oh, Disney, definitely.
Yeah, but kind of doing something like that. Where
Disney World was building, like they had the Polynesian resort in the 1970s. So yeah, they were definitely before Universal when it came to themed resorts.
Yeah, with like if there was like get a sense of like rock stars watching it now, just kind of thinking that if you went to like one of the Nickelodeon themed resorts, you can just imagine you as a kid, you just turn every channel is like a different '90s Nicktoon. It'd be like, what's the perfect one to go to vacation to? Well, Rocket Bear's gonna give you a sense of wanting to get out there, go explore.
And of course, I have that '90s Nickelodeon shirt. The one I'm talking about that I should be wearing right now, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't know why. Forethought. But that doesn't have rocket power on it, and that bugs me. It bugs the crap out of me actually, because as much as I love that shirt, it would just be so complete with rocket power, and I just take out the Fairly Odd Parents. Just take those out. Because it doesn't have SpongeBob, so it shouldn't have Fairly Odd Parents either. It should end with rocket power, God damn it. Anyways, I'm just all right. So, do you think we've kind of covered the background enough? Do you want to get into it?
Oh yeah, let's get into it. Everyone by this point, we've talked about rocket power a few times. I think they get the gist of it.
Yeah, we have. Okay. So let's go through it. Let's have a totally tubular and awesome rocket power Christmas, brah.
Yeah.
All right. Getting my inner Californian out. All right. So we start. We have Ocean Shores, and let's say right away. Let's chalk this up right away in terms of our formula of this is a Christmas special in an unconventional location.
Yes.
Would you agree with that? Because it's like, it's such a sunny beach town. There's absolutely no snow at all. It's all sunny out all the time.
And I would also like to point out two things. One, I want to point out that kind of with the whole the summery setting, even though it's you know, it is Christmas time, but it's really hot over there. Kind of ties into the whole Christmas in July theme of like this kind of Christmas in a really
There you
summery
go. There you go.
setting. And secondly, I want to point out, yeah, you're right. It is a very interesting thing. We don't see that often. It's like as if you're a kid watching this, or any kids out there watching this, and they realize, wait a minute, how can it be Christmas time? There's no snow. You know, when you're young and you think that, right? Well,
And of
Christmas
course,
is-
I being from California, where
Yeah.
it doesn't snow. I mean, it snows in certain parts of California, but it doesn't snow in my area.
You know, it's like that. It's imagine what that would be at that time, just broadcasting to the kids out there, thinking, well, this is their big education. Hey, kids, it doesn't always snow around Christmas time.
Right.
It's not always cold around Christmas time.
All right, so we we have kind of they're hanging wreaths on kind of classic sort of American graffiti cars,
Yeah.
and then Raymundo, who's my #1 animated dad according to the list that we did. Like,
Oh, by the way, something about Raymundo I wanted to bring up
Uh-huh.
here. Something I'm surprised I never brought up to you before about the guy. You know, he's voiced by a voice actor that has voiced Deadpool.
oh, okay, nice,
Yeah,
cool.
John Kazir, the one who has done
Uh-huh.
also the Crypt Keeper. That's what most people know him by. He's the voice of the Crypt Keeper.
He's fucking Raymundo is the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, but
Oh
he's
my
also
god!
and he's
Oh,
Deadpool
you just blew my mind right now.
and he's Deadpool from the Marvel Alliance games. That's all.
Oh, okay.
He has tons of video games also.
Wow.
He's done tons of voice work. John Kazir. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Uh-huh.
So what was the point that?
Okay, so let's chalk up, right? In fact, I feel like Raymundo's plot kind of has a couple plot lines going on. So he's buying ice cream with candy canes in them, which is
Dude, I love that.
a
That's
clever
my-
way to do Christmas.
That's probably my favorite visual of this episode. Just seeing Raymundo in wearing like the reindeer hat, with the shirt holding the ice creams with the candy canes in them. That was just I love that visual. It's crazy.
I'll
There's
try
a
and find
guy
that for
who
the
loves.
thumbnail.
There's a guy who loves Christmas. I can respect this man.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, my God. And that's his whole story arc. He's really into Christmas. Like, really into Christmas.
And, of course, this one, yeah, the kids, and this episode is really interesting for Raymundo, especially when all is revealed towards the end. You see
Oh, yeah.
his,
Oh, yeah.
you know, he's
And
giving
you
the
know
kids,
what? This episode was actually really heavily advertised in terms of like, oh, we're gonna learn a little bit about their mother. Ooh.
Mm.
And in the end, it doesn't really amount to much, but it kind of still gives you a picture of what she was like. And there's going to be other episodes in the future that explore her further, but I won't get into that.
Yeah, it's kind of like the
the
Mork and Mindy Christmas where they allude to the mother. You know, they were.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so yeah, basically we see Otto and Regina. They're not really digging Christmas as much as they used to. At least the way Raimundo's selling it, right?
Reggie.
You know? Well, her long form name is Regina.
No, call her Reggie. Seriously.
All right.
Like, they never call her Regina except when Raymundo's being strict with her or something.
Okay, going back and forth. Okay, it's a neat name.
No, her name is Reggie. I'm sorry.
All right, fine. Reg.
All right, fair enough. You and the
I'll go back and forth on it. Okay, fine. It's moving on anyway. So Reggie and Otto. Happy?
Yes. Okay, now Reggie is, she's kind of annoyed by it, but she's still trying to put up with it for her father's sake. Otto, would you agree, is the Scrooge? Oh, come on, he has to be.
I think so. I don't know. He gets over his thing real quick though.
But who else will be the Scrooge?
Well, I mean, for a moment I was thinking maybe Raimundo's not Scrooge, but they both.
Oh no! Come on, Raimundo's the opposite of Scrooge.
Okay. How's this sound?
He literally had a mental breakdown over having too much Christmas.
Okay,
cheer.
Otto and Reggie together are Scrooge because they both have a similar thing, even though Otto's a little more obvious with it. But she's also in that boat too.
But the thing about let's just get into it. So Otto, he dumps the candy cane ice cream right in the trash, which is just like, no, come on, that's perfectly good ice cream. Like, even if you don't like the candy cane, just take it out. Come on.
Yeah, I didn't get that. Like, what? Just take the candy cane. How does it taint the whole ice cream?
I don't know. Maybe there's like some residual like peppermint aftertaste.
It's like I don't like
funky in there.
I don't like the cherry on the ice cream sundae. Just take the cherry off. It's fine.
All right. So, anyways, this is kind of setting up the big thing. Another formula, I'd say, like let's go over the formulas because I feel like there's a lot of them. So there's the formula of someone who's too into the Christmas good, and then there's the formula of kids who are growing out of Christmas. Mm-hmm. So there you go, 2 ones right there, and then we get a third one, which is someone having a really desired gift, a really desired object that they
There's the Christmas story trope.
Oh yes, of course.
So Raimundo, first of all, let's just set it up a bit here. So they were actually, this is them exploring the boardwalk, isn't it? Has to be.
Yeah, this is a boardwalk, yeah.
That's what I thought. Anyways,
but we don't go on any rides, though. That's my thing, is that we never really saw rides.
Yeah, they went on rides.
The episode, like, let's not get into it.
I'm just saying, well, rides that won the boardwalk. Anyways, the point is, they're at the old they were Christmas stomping grounds, so to speak. For instance, the places they would go traditionally around the holidays, as like making their rounds, including like the ice cream gardeners. I guess they're walking around checking out stores and the Christmas decorations. I'm assuming. And anyway, so then Raimundo, Christmas story style, he walks past the display case, and we see this huge surfboard a surfboard Jaws could use. It's a 10-foot long. And Raimundo, he's entranced by it. He's looking at his dad. Away from the light, Raimundo. Away from the light.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so he says he'd love to get it, but no cash. He doesn't have the cash to get it. So
that board is totally tight, but unfortunately, so is my wallet.
And again, I love. So then, following that, Raimundo just reminds the kids, as he will periodically through this. Because again, I'm assuming we're like 2 or 3 days before Christmas. Am I right?
It sounds about right in the timeline. Yeah. Well,
I'm just saying. I think he announces like 3 things, and then like the last.
Okay. Well, they work on the dog job for 2 days, and then the last day that they're at the dog job is Christmas Eve. So it's 2 days before. It's 3 days before Christmas currently.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Anyway, so then Raimundo, as he periodically will, announcing these Christmas traditions, like little reminders for him that make sure you come home tonight on time so we can do this awesome Christmas tradition we always do. And in this case, it's one of my favorites actually. I don't do it myself. I loved him saying is the paper chain party.
You know, the shame is we never even really get to see any of these traditions play out.
Yeah.
We get teased about the paper chains. We get teased about the giant gingerbread construction.
Oh, that one sounded really cool. But seriously, how awesome are paper chains? I just want to point that out there. Seriously, paper chains are really cool.
All right.
You make a little fold and you glue it underneath the other fold. That's really cool.
So then Twister, he kind of rides off and he rides up, not off.
He enters the episode in some route.
He enters. Enter Twister! Twister!
It's a Twister! No, it's just him. Okay.
He's like, oh snap, look at that longboard. Okay, my Twister imitation is nowhere near as good as my Raimundo imitation.
So basically Twister enters the episode with the plot-altering line of the episode. So Twister walks in. He's walking a dog, and he's walking Fifi, Fifi the poodle, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. So anyway, obviously Reggie and Otto, they're asking, well, what's with the dog? Oh yeah, I'm doing this dog walking job. You'd be surprised how many jobs are available around the holidays. The logic here being people are busy during the holidays getting ready for Christmas. So some of their odd jobs probably need doing. In this case, dog walking. Because I mean, if you want to stay home and decorate the tree, you have to worry about I got to walk the dog, I put the ornament down. Basically, saving some time. And boy, there's a lot of economic opportunity. As you can imagine, I was expecting more part-time job rep, but they're kids. It makes sense. Yeah,
I think it is a part-time job. I think they're doing it for like a few hours.
No, I mean, yeah, but I was thinking more like the department store type deal. Usually that's what they do around the Christmas season.
Yeah, true, but it makes sense though. I think it makes sense in terms of like.
I'm not knocking. I'm saying
that's a job that a kid would get. Like walking a dog or mowing someone's lawn or something like that. It's not exactly like a traditional job with a paycheck. You know what I mean? It's just.
I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying that when I first heard getting all these odd jobs, first I was expecting, my mind went to like a traditional Christmas special. But I realized, oh wait, yeah, they're in California. It makes sense.
Exactly. Okay, so yeah, Twister, he's revealing I'm getting $20 for walking this dog. And then Otto proclaims probably one of my favorite, like,
yeah, this is a fun runner, this little bit here.
No way! A Jackson! Who calls a 20 a Jackson? I don't know. That was just amusing to me. I've never heard that. Like, Rocket Power actually likes to make up its own slang a lot of the time.
Well, no, Tiki, that's an actual thing. People, like, First Prince of Bel-Air, they'd always refer to the, you know.
Oh, really? Oh, shit. Oh, I'm sorry. Damn,
Well,
I need to watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Well,
now I feel culturally stupid.
Well, I shouldn't say all the time, but it's not a new thing just to refer to the money as who's on the bill. It's saying that's a thing that's always been around. I mean, it's saying, like, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I remember, like, Will Smith, it's like his wedding in the episode, he gets, like, all the checks full of the cash. He says, oh, hey, Ben, let me show you to your seat. Puts it in his back pocket. So I'm just saying, you know, it's not a special thing referring to the bills. People, the way Otto did it, I'll give you, it was pretty eccentric, though.
No way, a Jackson!
The enthusiasm behind that makes it all the more distinct.
Right.
So anyway, then Otto, he sees dollar signs in his eyes, so to speak. He says, "Oh, with that money, I could get." Remember some of the stuff he says, Tiki?
You could get
pegs for his bike.
You could get pegs for his bike. Probably like a new skateboard or something.
And then my favorite one was the last one because I can relate to this. So he said, "I get a whole bunch of sticky hands from the gumball machine." I've played my share of arcades, and I love the little sticky hands. One of those.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
Oh my god.
And then I love periodically Regina. She's sorry, Reggie.
Don't worry about it. Just call her whatever you want. It's fine.
One is Reggie. She points out. Well, you know, we could get the surfboard for Dad for Raimundo. And he keeps getting distracted by all the other things. Then finally, after it finally gets through to him, says, "And you know what? We can get that surfboard for Raimundo too."
Yeah, just steals the idea, basically.
I have an idea.
All right, coming up is what I'm just going to go ahead and assume is your favorite storyline of the episode.
So, wow, I love that Fifi agrees. That just basically seals the deal. That's just, we'll get the surfboard. Oh yeah, this is my favorite storyline of the episode.
Don't let me surprised.
So we have.
But seriously, Tito is like the poster child for everyone's favorite character.
Yeah, seriously, who does not be an alien not to like Tito? So basically, there's what's this guy's name? Like the lifeguard's Tice, isn't it?
Oh God, I'd have to look that up.
I'm pretty sure it's like Lieutenant Tice. It's like his lieutenant.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
Tice.
Go for it.
We'll call him that. I don't know. So Tice is kind of our, for those who may not be aware, kind of the drill sergeant lifeguard. Is really hilarious. I can assume
there's also a drill sergeant lifeguard on Gravity Falls, and he's also hilarious.
So like Tice is training Santa Claus is in a very militaristic style. They're all like it's a classroom of men in Santa suits, and I can only imagine it's very hot weather.
Now that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Keep in mind though, this is actually kind of lifted. I want to say this might even be an homage to Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire, which is the pilot episode of The Simpsons, is also obviously their first holiday special, and that had Homer Simpson in kind of a similar sort of, like, it wasn't like a drill sergeant thing, it was more just sort of like
the most education center.
Exactly. It was like the most, like, think of like the most drab and boring college class you've ever taken, and it was like that, but with Santa.
Now, let's all say it together. Ho, ho, ho. Okay.
Ho, ho, ho.
A+. Okay.
Right.
So basically, Tice is training these guys, basically putting them through kind of a Santa Hunger Games of sorts. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry, this is the visual will be hilarious. But anyways, points like he's training.
I want that to be a thing
now. He's training him to be Santa.
Just like I want. What did we come up with the other night? Oh God, we came up with something that was amazing. Forget it.
No, it was Whiplash.
Oh yeah, Whiplash freaking roll.
Yeah, it was Ricky
I
Ricardo.
really want that to be a thing. Like I want to make that if I have a camera one day.
You're
I want to
screwing up
make
my
that.
tempo.
You are screwing up my tempo.
Are you racing or are you driving? Okay, anyways. Basically, he's taking kind of a bunch of aspiring either mall Santas or just guys in Santa suits and training them so they can be the mayor Santa. Because like only one of them. Oh, there can only be one. Only there can only be one Santa Claus for the mayor's party, Christmas party, and basically he's training them to be the best they can, and select one for the Christmas party. And Tito's among them, and Tito's our main guy. We all love Tito. And then, Tice walks up to him and looks at him very intimidating. Like, kind of I don't know if you've seen this movie, dude, but for those out there get this reference, you're awesome. The easy money, not easy might be the Back to School Rodney Dangerfield movie where it has like the teacher's like good right up in his face. It's like say it, oh! It's like, basically Sam Kinison was the teacher in that, but. Sorry. So at some point, Tice walks up to walks up and says, "I noticed in your ho 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 you had brother. There is no brother.
There is no brother in ho ho ho."
Right? Yes, brother. I mean, sir. Says, don't I?
This guy would just make the most horrible Santa ever. That's the whole gag, is that he has all the authority, and yet he's just the worst.
Yeah, but
right, anyways.
Tito as a Santa Claus is trying his best. It's so endearing. It's so cute seeing Tito as dressed as Santa Claus, just looking intimidated.
And no one in that room wants it more than him. I mean, you can tell.
Oh yeah, we find out some really heartwarmingly stuff later on with Tito and the Santa thing. Okay, so then we got Team Rocket. They're lining up the job. They're lining some jobs up right now
to protect the world from devastation. I'm sorry, you said Team Rocket.
If you wanted
trouble, that's right.
If you wanted trouble, make it double. Okay, so let's see. So we see Ray Mundo. He's still clinging to the past with all decorations and stuff.
Oh, Reggie, I found a Santa that you made when you were just 5 years old.
Yep. And we can see Reggie. She's still a little bugged by it. Like, she's trying to be polite. I guess it's a great thing of Reggie. She's always really nice and accommodating.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I feel kind of differentiates Reggie from Otto in terms of the Scrooge thing. Is like, and I feel like it can all be summed up in that one scene at the window where Otto's, kind of being greedy. Like, oh, I can buy all this stuff. So I do think, like, it's very loose, but we do have to attach a Scrooge to every episode, so I feel like Otto is the only person that really applies to be a Scrooge.
By the way, I just wanted to say one of the best pairings in Rock Band we don't get in this episode, but I always loved Reggie and Tito paired up with each other. Those two always fun.
Oh my god, oh yeah, they're amazing.
Anyway, so then basically, so again, Regina, she's just kind of shrugging it off there, like, basically, oh yeah, right, like, because then Raimundo, he pulls out basically falls out of the box the photo album. They're all going through the photo album, like saying, oh, who is Reg? Is that you without T? And then like, who is that baby? He's Otto's wailing at Santa Claus. Hey, Reg, she's looking like a little embarrassing. No, it must be some other kid. I don't know how they got in our album there.
And then Raimundo, he's just like, oh, I remember that Christmas like it was yesterday.
Yep.
Soft fondly just stares off into space.
I love that it might be a little sad, yet hilarious, that he's just remembering maybe unpleasant Christmas memories, but remember there was such fondness and nostalgia, even though he's just clinging to anything Christmas related.
All right, so,
okay, so let's see. Then he reminds him about the
Kringle Dingle song.
What? Oh yeah, right. But also the whole gingerbread village.
Oh yeah, the gingerbread construction party. Man, I want to see the gingerbread village. Why didn't we ever see that?
Also, you mentioned something like an antler dance, and I gotta tell you, some elements.
It's the antler dance.
No, don't be wrong. I mean, overall, the intention is for him to be like obsessed with Christmas and this. I mean, come on, pull it back a little, guys. Antler dance.
And let's just keep in mind the reveal at the end of the episode. I feel like I feel like he's legitimately a little bit mentally unstable this episode.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Basically, that's their get out of jail free card at the end. They can do whatever they want with. They can make him as crazy obsessed with Christmas as he wants.
Exactly.
They can make him level obsessed as long as they have that trump card at the end.
Right.
Let's just say it's a really good thing we didn't see that antler dance all the way through.
God.
Moving on.
Okay, so they're picking up dogs from the various townsfolk, including.
Let's see. We got Conroy Blanc.
Conroy.
Yeah, the Jamaican the skate park runner.
Yeah, on the skate park man.
Yeah, and his dog Myron. We see one of my favorite characters. I love Officer Shirley. One, she's voiced by CCH Pounder, Amanda Waller herself. Awesome.
Nice.
And points, plus I just love the thing that just cracks me up. It makes sense. Officer Shirley's dog is actually a police officer, one of the drug sniffing. I can assume like one of the drug canine officer Zeke.
Now, Officer Zeke is known to go after suspects, so don't you kids go near any bank robberies.
And then we have Clyde, who I believe is the really Santa-looking dog that belongs to Tice. It belongs to the lieutenant guy.
And I guess he took a break out of drilling the Santas. All right, now I gotta go, but you Santas just stay put, because I gotta go on the beach and deliver my dog.
Well, it's the next day, Tiki, so probably he's getting ready to meet him.
Fair point.
That was yesterday when we saw him train Santas. Okay, so let's see.
You got me.
What else we got here?
I just wanted to make a joke about the timeline.
Sorry. So then I believe we get the Simpletons also.
The Simpletons, yes.
Oh, I love the Simpletons. I love.
Oh, they're fun.
You remember what? Is it Merv Simpleton?
Sounds right. Yeah, sounds right.
It's just always his Korean War rants crack me up. Anyway, so let's see. So then we moving on.
So let's see. Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Zeke's a handful. He's knocking over trash cans, and Twister's trying to pull him out of there. And they has a really funny line saying, "Man, wonder if Officer Zeke's gonna find himself for that," which I thought was hilarious. And basically, there's a really funny visual. They keep going is that Sam is always paired off with the little. Well, first of all, Sam appears to be paired with like a big dog at first. And then basically, like, later on, you get all the little dogs, and he's like, "Can we trade dogs, please?" And then there's like the poodle. We get a poo joke in this. And there's another.
Yeah, we get a shit joke.
Yeah, not crazy. But it's with dogs. That's the premise of what they're doing there, so they have to address it. At least it's not as bad as when they did for How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh God, that's true. Forgot about that.
Okay, so we get a poodle poo joke. And then they see a mailman walk by, and I love the visual image of a mailman with a Santa hat. It's always kind of funny. Then the dogs they go nuts. Anyway, so we get to our next scene.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, that day was totally not radical. I could crash until New Year's.
Yes. So,
and then this is a very funny payoff because Reggie, she speculates all. Well, I wonder if Raymundo just forgot about it and went to bed. And then it's just like, nope. We see like just a huge freaking like Ned Flanders style like array of lights. And literally the music is pumping on the bass from the outside and you can hear like the rumbling from the bass. Oh my God.
So Raymundo is ridiculously hyped in Christmas weekend.
I think he might be a little drunk too. I'm just gonna speculate, just throwing that out there.
Well, not drunk, but more like he's had a little too much eggnog, which again, Christmas obsession. Maybe he's drowning his sorrows a little bit.
I have some speculation about that actually, but we'll get to it.
So he's singing, he's going nuts, and then they basically I love this. We go cut to commercial, and when we come back, it's like they excuse themselves with a food poisoning excuse.
I actually just had a really bad allergic reaction because I'm allergic to peanuts, and
oh, you mean you don't like Charlie Brown?
No, I'm allergic to any kind of nuts. And I had a pesto pizza that had real pine nuts in it, and oh my God, it was bad. So I can relate to the food poisoning and the food sickness thing. I've been there. All right. Anyways.
All right, so let's see. So they use the food poisoning excuse they can get away from, so they can reconvene and strategize. What are we gonna do?
Oh no!
I think basically just conferring about what are they going to do about Raimundo as he's going really nuts. We're exhausted at this point. We can't do this, man. Now it's Christmas. How do we explain to him we don't want to do any of this Christmas stuff?
Mm.
Then they're interrupted by yet another Christmas activity. Raimundo reminds them of Pinky Pixie.
Yes.
The littlest elf.
No, it's the saddest elf. It's the saddest elf. No, I'm sorry, the loneliest. The loneliest.
Yeah. See, I couldn't read my own handwriting, so I just assumed it was littlest. But no, it says it does say loneliest.
Okay, so one of the things that cracks me up about Steven Universe, one of the many things that cracks me up about Steven Universe, is that one of Steven's favorite shows to watch is literally this bizarre, like, public access educational kids show called The Depressed Breakfast Buddies. And it's just all about a bunch of freaking sad, depressed breakfast items, and it's...
Really?
Yeah, I'm not even joking. The Depressed Breakfast Buddies.
So is it like a public access show with?
Yes.
So what are they talking about?
Well, you need to watch Steven Universe and find out, motherfucker. All right. Anyways.
So they want to make again in a wonderful Reggie-like manner. And she explains, "Look, whatever makes Dad happy, whatever makes Raimundo happy."
Mm-hmm.
It means a lot to him, so we're gonna reflect that in how we act. Okay, got it? Okay.
All right. So then we cut back to the lifeguard, and he's. Oh God, this is great.
So we see Tice is really raking these guys over the coals because we have Santa Training 101 in a very militaristic style. So basically, kind of Hurt Locker style. Tito is given a small doll to represent a child, and he's like, whoa, basically, going through like the whole like, what would you like for Christmas? And then basically,
he asks like a simple question like. Oh, how are you? And then the lifeguard just snaps it. It's like, you don't have time to be sitting around chit-chatting.
Yeah, basically, Tice is this hilarious line saying, it could have gone off by now. Like the kids
and then he sits down and gives a proper demonstration. He's just like, if your behavior has been acceptable this year, then Santa will send to your address a calculator or an educational phonics game.
He says phonics?
I think that might be the line of the episode.
Wait, I'm sorry, just remind me, does he say phonics?
Yes, an educational phonics game. What would you rather have, BlueDragonFive? Would you rather have a calculator or an educational phonics game?
Well, I don't have many fond memories of phonics, so I might skew towards.
I actually do have fond memories of a game that was... Okay, there was Hooked on Phonics. That was the main one.
Just remind me what phonics is again, because I think I might have forgotten.
Like spelling and syllables and grammar and all that good stuff. Yeah, phonics. Yeah. There was Hooked on Phonics, and that was the big one. And then I actually had the phonics game. And so I actually do have fond memories of that.
I love that it'd be hilarious if there was an X-Men themed phonics, modeled after Jean Grey, the Phonics Rises.
Oh God.
The Dark Phonics Saga. And Wolverine would be your grammar police. If you got something wrong, he'd claw you to death.
Alright, so let's see. Okay, so the dog walking, it's just not going well. They're all exhausted. Oh yeah.
And using boar jerky.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. Just using some beef jerky. Seriously, if they said boar jerky, I think I would have lost it.
Well, there's no way they would have.
I know, of course. Basically, using jerky relay, because remember, boar jerky solves the world's problems. That's something we've learned.
It does. We learned that, and now we have two more seasons of Bates Motel confirmed to explore that important issue.
Anyway, so basically, Auto fashions using is it Auto or Twister fashions? I think it's
It's auto.
yeah, Auto like asks Twister for some beef jerky. Basically, like kind of tosses it in front of the dog, motivates it, and gets it running, and then basically you hold on to by the strings. Basically, like water skiing with dogs on a skateboard.
Muttboarding. Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
and I love this the gag of Sam tries to be as these small dogs who's getting nowhere. That's hilarious. Like, uh, and then like you
One
see
thing I
like
want to bring up about Sam really quick.
sure, go ahead.
So Sam is the butt of a lot of jokes, right? Would you say that's fair to say?
Yeah, squid.
Yeah, because he's Squid. It's a running theme in Nickelodeon, isn't it?
Yes.
I just now like realized that today. I'm like, holy shit, Squidward, they're both the butt of jokes. All right, anyways. Oh god.
So we see some really, as we get with Rocket Power in any episode, we get really cool skating and or other variations of sport trick.
And this is fun. Like, this is probably one of my favorite elements of extreme sports in Rocket Power, when they find like fun and creative, like different ways to do skateboarding. And this is one of them, you know, like you wouldn't think of this, but it totally, like, I've actually seen people do this, to tell you the truth.
With muttboarding?
I'm not even joking you. I've seen people do it. I'm not kidding. I mean, it's not like something I see every day, obviously, but I have seen a couple people do that. Just, you know, just hold a dog that's running on a leash while they're on a skateboard. Okay, anyways, so yeah, Otto has the ridiculously 90s, but boarding is totally sweet.
Totally.
Feels wrong that we're getting paid, brah. All right, anyways. But then Reggie kind of comes to a realization like, oh no, we already missed half of the Pinky Pixie show.
Well, first of all, I want to give credit to our team here that they found out the way to kind of spice up the dog walking thing and actually make it fun in a way that I can't wait. Before they're like, oh, I can't do this anymore. So I can't wait for tomorrow. I can't believe we only have one more day.
Right.
But again, also we saw
I'm anxiously waiting the release of Tony Hawk's Pro Mutt Boarder.
Seriously, I love the skating tricks in that Tony Hawk episode. That's one of my favorites of Running Power. So let's see. So then they're late for the Pinky Pixie show, the special. But thankfully, it's kind of weird seeing this is actually like a credence. Like there's something might be wrong with Raimundo because
I legitimately think he's like a mix of just legitimately like depressed over his wife and then just straight up like boozing. I gotta say.
I don't know if boozing's the right word, but I mean, there's this one bit here though where he's looking at the TV, and TV's it's obviously he's missed the program, but it's like also all staticky, and he's just watching the static.
Right.
And it's not the 50s, okay? In the 50s, after you got the Native American little thing at the end.
Oh, let's stare at the fuzzy.
So basically, after Native American, for a while, you had just it's like in Toy Story 2 they did it. They emulated in Toy Story. They have like da da, you know, the Indian and the flag, da 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 da, and for a while until TV came back. Remember, is he doing the same thing? Is he intentionally watching static? It's really creepy. It's really off-putting when I think about it. It's like, oh god, it's like The Shining. He's just waiting for him to come home.
They're here.
It's like James Woods from that Family Guy episode. He's just waiting at dinner for Peter. You know, he's just waiting. I know they're gonna come here, and you know why it's all stacky? Because he got a tape in there. He's gonna rewind. That's what I'm gonna do. So anyway, they come home, they miss it, and they're like, "Oh, you guys, you missed it." Oh well, it's on next year. Because remember, that is an actual thing. People usually had to wait till next year if they missed their Christmas specials.
Right, yeah.
We lived, and in the '90s especially, you and I can relate. We lived in the Advent miracle of recording and VHS tapes.
Oh yeah, so I had the Grinch. I had well, the Grinch was really the only one I owned, but I watched that all the time, year in, year out. So yeah,
I would tape Dragon Ball Z episodes like you wouldn't believe.
Oh my god, I can believe that.
Well, actually, also more so Dragon Ball, but also a few Dragon Ball Zs.
Dragon Ball is also awesome.
I love Dragon Ball. If I had to pick it, I'll pick Dragon Ball over Z anytime. But I love Z.
I wouldn't go that far.
No,
This isn't a Dragon Ball Z podcast.
Right. I'm just saying Ball's more nostalgic than Z for me, but anyway.
Balls definitely has the humor, and Z has kind of the epic. It's kind of like The Hobbit compared to Lord of the Rings.
Okay, anyway, so back to the episode. Sorry, VHS takes this nostalgic on very many tangents.
Right. You know what? The only saga of Dragon Ball Z that I ever bought on VHS was the Garlic Jr. saga. Because it was cheap and it was only 3 tapes. Like, I really wanted the Frieza saga. Like, I remember, like, going into the video store and seeing the Frieza saga, and it was, like, 12 tapes long, and I really wanted that one. I was like, oh, man, I guess I'll just buy the Garlic Jr. saga.
All right. So he, let's get back to the episode.
You could like snip that whole conversation out and be like a 5-minute Dragon Ball Z episode.
Right. Okay. So basically, they find out Raimundo has taped the episode. Says, "I'm gonna warm up the cocoa. You guys just play it. You just play it." And then they're watching it, cheesy, and just watching it. It's just the cheesiest thing you've ever seen. It's
ridiculous.
There is no truth in this art. This is not. This is not by.
It makes the Happy Little Elves Christmas special that the Simpsons watch look like Charlie Brown Christmas.
Basically, this is not quality Jim Henson type puppet show. If anything, this is basically these puppets like, it's like they're hugging, and that's about it. That's all the substance.
I'm a sad little elf, and then the snowman is just like, in an Olaf, he's just like, well, I'll give you a hug.
However, points for being a snowman, and let's count that up with some holiday stuff. We got some snowmen in this episode, and some are out. I like the fact that apparently Raimo's so into this. He also, at the ready, has the puppets ready.
My God.
I assume tradition is like the kids would play with the puppets as they're watching the thing, which is adorable. Right. I love the idea that Raimundo, I can only imagine Raimundo when he was alone, he had puppets on both hands. You just kind of emulate one of these things. Oh, God. On the screen, looking all sorrowfully like, oh, they're not here, but holiday fun.
Now I'm the loneliest Christmas elf.
Right.
Oh, God. Okay, so then Otto, he's just like, well, we gotta sing that lame-o song, bro.
And that's Raimundo.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that was, now for me, at first I thought it was going to be like a smart... No, I'm not saying... At first I thought it was going to be a thing where like Raimundo picks up on it, and he's just realizing... Oh, maybe... I thought the end of the revelation was going to be there, him realizing, well, if they think it's lame, maybe that's because they think it's cool, something like that. But no, they went a whole different direction.
Oh, God, yeah. Kind of a realistic direction.
By the way, I learned something this episode. Again, it's been years since I've watched Rocket Bear. It's one show I don't really watch on a regular basis anymore. Again, because those may come on.
Well, I mean, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't watch it on a regular basis anymore.
I mean, like, actually, there's this really great thing now is that on Teen Nick, on demand. I don't know how many people get it or not, but like channel 133, it's like it's on demand somewhat. It's like
the 90s are all that.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically what they do. Like for the most part, basically 9 o'clock onwards, it's that stuff playing. It's always refreshing.
Oh, I remember I flipped out when I discovered the 90s are all that.
Yeah, so great. Also, like Keenan and Kale, they have a whole slew of the classics.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they got everything. It's great.
Anyway, so also Rocket Power.
And it's on TV, so you got the commercials and everything. You have the full Nickelodeon experience.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do the same way. So remove
I'm sorry, one more thing. If only they played classic 90s commercials during the 90s is all that. Wouldn't that just complete it? Oh my God, that would be magical.
That would be great.
Okay, anyways.
But anyways, I learned that Otto apparently is in the 5th grade. I did not know that.
Oh, yeah. Otto's in the 5th grade. Reggie's in the 6th grade. They established that in like the first episode. Because I remember Reggie made a big deal out of it because because Sam was Otto and Twister's age, but he moved up a year, so he's in her class. So yeah, 5th grade, 6th grade.
Yeah, they only look like 5th graders, do they?
I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think any Nickelodeon characters really have any sort of, especially Klasky Cuspo designs. They're just like odd. They don't have any sort of defined age group, to tell you the truth.
I guess that's kind of fair. Okay. So anyway, so
I mean,
Raimundo.
look at the designs on As Told by Ginger, man.
Well, that's the thing. So I'm just making sure that's the same design group on As I Thought.
Oh yeah, classic.
Yeah, definite point there. Okay, so let's see. So then Raimundo is set off by Lamo. What do you mean, Lamo?
God. Yeah, oh my God, he's going nuts. And you know what? We're gonna go get our picture with Santa at the mall, and we're gonna enjoy it. And then Reggie's just like, well, why can't we just take a picture of Tito in his Santa costume? Because that's not what rockets do!
So basically, Raimundo, he's putting the sandal down, so to speak.
Oh, God.
He's putting the sandal down and says, you know what? We're going to spend... we're going to spend the day together. We're going to the mall together. We're going to take a picture with Santa Claus. I'm sorry, exactly what you just said. Because it's tradition. Isn't just what he's getting at. And then the hilarious... Oh, my God.
Oh yeah, you just noticed what I picked. Yeah, he's basically gonna go get drunk.
Well, no, not that. I just realized what I just said a moment ago. I was completely right about. It cracks me up. That's what I realized that he says the best. This is actually the best line of the episode. He says,
"I would say so." Yeah.
Well, if you don't want, fine, I'll do it alone. He says, if you want me, I'm going to be drinking apple cider and
by myself and do my own puppet show.
That's it. That's the line. Well, see, I was just picturing it, like him being alone with the puppets. I just realized, oh my God, he is doing that.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
But the apple cider thing, I don't think it's alcohol. I just think it's apple cider. Come on.
I think it's a thinly veiled cartoon excuse for alcohol.
I wouldn't put it past them, but I don't think so.
I would say eggnog would almost be a little too on the nose, to tell you the truth. So I would say maybe they pitched apple cider. I don't know. I'm just speculating here, but Raimundo is really breaking down, so I would not put it past them if it's like a second-hand reference.
He has like a Bill Murray freakout from Scrooge, It's like, you're going to do it, and you're going to like it.
All right.
Just the best line Sean gives you, the way he delivers. I'm going to take my apple cider and have my own puppet show. So poor Raimundo, he's up there. They're just drifting apart, and he's fed up because he's all into Christmas. They just made fun of his Christmas. Well, screw you! I'm going to be alone.
Yeah. And then we cut back to Tito, who's kind of having his own disappointment.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah. You want to go through that?
Yeah, right. So it's I just remember Tice had a really funny line getting us into that scene. He said, "You all came to me with a pom-pom hat and a dream. I've made you into Santa, into Santa Clauses, proper Santa Claus. But only one of you has passed this. I just love the pom-pom hat and the dream line. That's what I loved."
But I also like how he's like, what's he say? He says something like, each and every one of you, except for a select few of you, would be fine Santas.
Yep, like you said.
You gotta think he's including Tito and that he's taking a dig at Tito.
Yeah, probably.
Which is just like, ouch, man. Come
Tice,
on.
what's wrong with you, man? He's giving it his all. He's giving it his all, darn it.
I know. Well, at least he comes around on Tito at the end.
Anyway, so then Peterson gets the job. And
we have a really funny payoff with Peterson, too.
By the way, I love that it's so cruel, too. Like, the way this is staged, like, he's right next to Tito.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, come on, Tice, you're walking right up to Tito, then you're pointing to the guy next to him. Seriously? Then again,
I want to think he did it on just to rub the salt in the wound. Like, for some reason, he has a real grudge against Tito until the end.
Okay, anyway, so
I think it's the whole brother thing.
Yeah, he really does not like the brother, use of brother. That really rubs him the wrong way. So then we get, again, the most moving, awesome part of the episode, probably. Well, not awesome part, one of the most moving parts of the episode that paid off awesomely. So again, Tito, I love that. This is a brilliantly staged bit. So they all walk out. There's, yeah, Peterson, yeah, you're dismissed, and they all walk out. And then Tito's just there. It's all so this could be like in a full length movie. You know, just imagine the scene. This is a premise for a movie, if you ask me. Just a man wants to be Santa like no one's business, and then he just gets shot.
That's a really good premise, actually. Yeah.
I love the visual image of this one a classroom full of Santa Clauses that leave the one Santa Claus just sitting there after his dreams have been crushed.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to myself, poor Tito, and he goes up, and then the intro here's get the tissues ready, folks. He walks up to the
inside-out tissue box.
Seriously, Pixar brand tissues. That would be $1 million. Yeah. Okay, so he walks up to the Santa poster, and he says, "I'm sorry I let you down."
I'm sorry I let you down, big guy.
Yeah. Oh my God. And he really.
I think that Raymundo is the only voice I can do on this show. I can't do Tito. I can't do Twister, but I can do a totally awesome Raymundo.
But seriously, it's such a moving bit. Just a guy is walking up to a Santa poster and saying he wanted to please Santa Claus. That's commitment.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, he feels like he's let down Santa Claus. Oh man, that's sad.
All right, so we have let's see, it's Reggie and Otto on the streets, and Twister he's not there because he has a big family thing with a gazillion cousins, and I have issues with that plot-wise, but we'll get into that because he just kind of randomly shows up, and Lars isn't even there, so whatever. But they realize, and BlueDragonFive, get the chart ready, they realize that the stores close early on Christmas Eve, and they need to get that one specific present, or else everything will be ruined. Sound familiar?
Oh, yeah. It sounds Nickelodeon-like, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So also, meanwhile, while they're kind of lamenting this, they see basically what they get the holiday message right here. They're starting to get it. It's starting to clear up there. They the first half of our arc is fulfilled here. Is basically they look into a home, and they see a family is gleefully bonding over Pinky Pixie, and they're like, you know what? And I love Otto just kind of not getting it, but he's just speaking what he's obviously seeing, just saying. I was just saying, I think we misjudged that Christmas. Something along the lines of, I think we misjudged that Christmas special. Just saying, it was actually better than I thought it was.
No, Otto, it's just as bad as you thought it was.
So it's like it's hilarious. He's getting the message, but on a different level. Just realizing, what we said that was wrong. We just saying, like he's just wrapped in the moment. It's really funny to me. Then they realize, okay, well, for Bust, we got to get him that gift. We got to make up for all this stuff we put our old man through. We got to make up for it.
Yeah, so they split up. They're gonna return all the dogs, and then Otto, he runs into Lars and his gang, and
but
I just want to point out, like I said,
remember, Tiki, it's 4, which means the clock's ticking.
Oh yeah. Oh. I just want to point out, it just bugs me that there's this like huge event with Twister's family apparently, and Lars is just kind of like gallivanting around. I mean, I guess that makes sense for Lars's character, but I don't know.
Simple explanation: Lars sucks, and none of the family want anything to do with him.
There you go. And Lars does suck, and he's a terrible fucking villain. He's the worst character on the show.
Yeah, he is. Seriously, Lars and his cronies are such pricks and idiots. They really are.
Yeah, he's awful. He's definitely one of the elements of the show that has not aged well.
He's like a '90s sucky version of Biff Tannen. He's just like a Biff Tannen with all the hilarity. Basically, he's Biff Tannen with all the hilarity stripped out of him. Like, this guy's just annoying, and he looks vaguely.
And his voice is just like excruciating.
Yeah, I love the episode where he thinks Twister died, and oh yeah, you caused your own brother to die. I hope you feel bad.
That was a good episode, actually. That was like one of the few episodes where he was like remotely, I don't want to say likable, but remotely developed. Yeah, I guess is the word.
Yeah, his developed, but was still a major prick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Lars. I really don't like. Lars really pisses me off.
No, I don't blame him. I'm totally with you on the Lars hate. By all means.
And his cronies, they really didn't age well. I mean, I've been watching this after a long while, but seriously, Lars' cronies, they were much better in the past when I saw them the first time. Now,
yeah,
don't hold up at all. The one guy is just, it goes moo moo. I mean, it's kind of funny, the line, but it's
oh, God.
Oh, he's basically.
So, anyways, Lars
McFly, he calls him chicken, and I'm sorry, go through.
Yeah, he calls him chicken, and you know, Otto. He wants to race the dogs because they have bulldogs, right?
Yeah, I don't know. They have some sort of dog, but also
Some small, tough-looking dog.
I think the setup for this is kind of lame. It's just in the
It
beginning of the
is.
episode, you see just like when Twister does the cool trick where like he jumps through the reef and lands on the board with the dogs pulling him. Then Lars and his cronies they see it and then disappear, and then they come back.
Oh,
All
you
of a
know
sudden.
what? I didn't even freaking notice
That's
that
how
Lars was there,
you
and
see.
I watched this episode twice. So
See,
yeah.
that's how they set it up. I'll tell you what I thought was going to happen. Again, it's been years since I've rewatched this one in particular. So I was surprised. Jim was surprised by a lot of some stuff in this. So at first I was thinking, because again, I try to, especially the Lars moments, I try to block those out. Uh, so basically, it's Otto is handed like a sock full of money, and of course that is actually something we should mark up as a trope. Kind of the character with the sack of money that's going to
There's
be.
a lot of them in this episode. Oh my god, they're throwing a lot of tropes at the wall.
But seriously, that's the trope. You hand the character the very pivotal thing that will save Christmas, and usually put in a sack of some sort. Especially, you know, like I'm thinking like the Muppet Christmas movie. That's definitely
Right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So basically, it's like that. I was thinking, oh man, Lars. How villainous do they make Lars? Does he actually take the sack? Does he steal the money? Do they gamble?
No.
For a moment, I thought they were going to gamble because it's like, oh, race. I was like, oh no, Otto, you have the money, don't.
That would have been bad. That would have made Otto really unlikable.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, give me like a Shark Tale thing of like he bets all the money he was supposed to.
Don't bring up Shark Tale.
Anyway, so then I get into a race again after like the goading of like, what's the you're like a chicken, moo moo, just like a chicken. I wanted to punch that guy. I really did. You're ruined. You're like they're even lame versions of Biff Tannen's cronies.
Pretty much.
Like he's the lamest version of 3D Glasses guy.
I actually consider them like more lame versions of Crab and Goyle from Harry Potter.
I don't know. Okay, anyway, so let's see. So they Otto falls for it. He gets goaded into racing. They both crash.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then Ray, he's just depressed at the show.
This scene's great. This is one of the best scenes of the episode.
Yeah.
But I love
Tito
the
walks
Shack.
in. Oh yeah, I love the Shore Shack too.
Such a great
And
setting.
I can relate to the Shore Shack because like my family owned like kind of a popular, well-known business downtown. They owned a combination Halloween store / pet store, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. Because
A
have you
Halloween
ever heard of,
and a pet store?
or I'm sorry, not a Halloween store specifically, but more a costume store at a pet store?
A costume store and a pet store.
Wrapped into one, and it was called the Pet Stop.
It sounds a little weird to me.
It was awesome. Don't you freaking dare. That's my family's legacy right there.
I love the costume part of that, but I'm not a pet guy. It's probably. Well, I'm sorry. Don't pay attention. I'm not a pet guy.
My grandpa's totally a pet guy, so.
I am not the part of this thing from a pet guy. I mean, fish. I can only tolerate fish. That's about it. Fish and pet
I'm
rocks.
allergic to dogs. I love cats. Anyway.
I enjoy a good pet rock.
All right, but I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I can relate to like my family, like owning this business downtown and going and hanging out in it. You know what I mean?
Okay, so we're at the Shore Shack, and maybe gives you a bit of credence. I don't know. Basically, Raimundo is drowning his sorrows in coconut. So then Tito, again, after Tito, he goes into the place, he sits down, airs his problems out to kind of our bartender, so to speak, or to Raimundo. And I love this. This Tito getting into reasoning, and one of two major revelations here. The second one being much more big. Tito just saying here, my family have always, basically saying all his cousins and his father and his grandfather, they've all been Santa Claus. Every member of his family, they've been Santa Claus. It's been a tradition. Then it gets to Raimundo, says, hey, I can relate to that, following traditions. Says, you want to sit on my lap and talk about it? Says, nah.
I wanted to see that. I wanted to see that visual image.
And then, of course, we don't get like Tito giving a Hawaiian saying per se, but he's giving like some good advice. He's just basically hearing Raimundo out saying, things change. Essentially, that's what it is. And he says, can I have a candy cane? He gives him a candy cane. It's really funny.
No, he actually asks for. Hold on, I have a
Well, no, he says like a double. Something
candy
about
cane.
candy
Make it
cane.
a double.
Yeah,
Again,
that's.
another alcohol illusion.
Well, he's just asking for like another candy cane, isn't he?
Make it a double, as in a double shot.
I don't
I
know.
know he's just asking for a candy cane, but it's an allusion to alcohol.
Well, it's
He's talking to Tito like a bartender.
no, Tiki. The gag is. It's not actual alcohol. It's the gag of like
I'm really stretching on this alcohol.
You are. It sounds like alcohol, and that's the setting. It's a parody of alcohol. It's just saying, "Give me a double," because it's pathetically kid-like of a drunk situation. That's the gag. It's like give me. He's just drinking coconut. Drinking coconut. He's getting the candy cane. He's drinking like a shot of bourbon.
Exactly. But you cannot say with any definite proof that what he's drinking in the coconut is not alcohol.
I have no. Okay, I'll
give me that.
We don't know. We don't know what's in the coconut. I will give you that. But he's asking for a double of candy cane.
Put the lime and
can't stretch that.
Lime in the coconut.
Okay, no.
Oh man. Okay, so Reggie's drilling Otto like.
So Otto lost the dogs when he fell. That's the important thing.
Oh yeah. And then conveniently they're just right outside Sam's house. I mean, were they going to Sam, or I don't know. It was a little bit of an odd setup because it's just like, oh, that's right, we're right there. Hey Sam, come help us.
Well, they're frantically looking all over, and I guess they don't have cell phones at this point.
It felt a little convenient. So.
Okay, maybe it's a little convenient, but it makes sense they run into each other at some point.
Yeah. And then this is kind of where I'm like, I guess Twister, like, he's just the family thing wrapped up because he's there.
Yeah, he's out of
there. So, okay. All right.
So
and then this kind of cracks me up. Sam is using this complicated. I wrote down in my notes he's using Jurassic Park's web browser. Is that fair to say?
I don't know.
Is that fair to say that it looks like Park's web browser?
I can't quite recall what the thing looked like in particular, but besides, I liked how he was Oracle in the episode. He's pretty much like the guy on the computer is like on the headset telling him where to go.
My question is like, how does that technology even exist?
Well, low dog, it's simple. He just puts like a little tracer on him. It sends like a signal out. It's like.
Did that technology exist in the 90s? Okay, fair enough.
Well, I mean, there's something similar to it. It wasn't.
I mean, I know it exists now. I just didn't know it was there. It was around back then, like tracking technology.
I think there definitely was like a problem with it. It's like how parents that kept tabs on their kids by putting like in their phones, but it was like something a little.
That's true. That's true. I remember.
Plus, there was like the older cell phone that was like just you click it and that's one number.
Right.
Point is, it's not beyond the. Plus, it's cartoon. Come on, let's get some credit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have this really funny bit where Tito, he's all depressed and he sees the kids running by, and then he starts talking to the dog.
Yeah,
and he basically pieces together the whole situation.
This is great. Just basically, as the kids are off to save Christmas, Tito, he understands. He's like Lassie, pretty much, but he would have absolutely no.
Pretty much, yeah.
Tito is just, again, his Hawaiian sayings have given him magical powers after all 3 episodes. So basically,
that's
Tito,
what I chalk it up to. Yeah,
in a hilarious manner. Either there, Tito is just very perceptive, but doesn't even realize it.
I would like to think that he's just super perceptive. I don't know.
Yeah, he's just super perceptive to the point where he doesn't even realize it. He just thinks he's actually keeping off from the dog, but maybe he has like Sherlock Holmes again ability to pick up on little details, but again, he's just not registering it. Maybe I don't know. Point is, Tito understands the dog in a Lassie-like manner, saying, "Wait, do you mean I gotta get down to the shop real quick so they can get Raimundo's board for Christmas?" Okay, brothers, I'm coming to help. So basically, he comes to the rescue in a hot dog cart sleigh, which is awesome. Pulled by the remainder of the dogs. They have found all the dogs at this point. They're all hooked up to the thing. Basically, well, no, we're never gonna get there in time to get the board. Well, don't worry, I've called all the customers. I gotta meet you there to pay you, to pick up their dogs and pay you. Didn't you?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Just it's getting dangerously close to the time of my next show, so we have to wrap this up pretty soon.
You get down there, really like all people are going nuts. They're like, hey, it's Santa! Look at that, hot dog cart. And this load design that thing. And he gets down. They get down there.
Awesome.
They get their payment. They drop off the dogs. Otto, they're right next to the store, so they go in there. Otto is tasked with it, and then he realizes, oh no. No sack full of money, no sock of money.
No!
It's exactly like Fozzie Bear from the Christmas movie.
Right.
And then thankfully, then he has to leave the shop. Closed sign gets up there like, no, it was all for nothing. And then, thankfully, one of the dogs found the sock, brought it to him, and they knock on the door. And thankfully, it's not one of those contrived things like, nope, it says closed.
Right. I was thinking they were going to do that, too. I was really thinking they were going to go that direction.
Yeah. And then, of course, we get this great moment where Tito gets the Santa offer, and it's really sweet. It's like, oh, Tice came around on him and says, there might be hope for you yet.
But the best payoff is the fact that Peterson has literally done it 9 years in a row, and yet Tice has this like meticulous, like hardcore Hunger Games style, like program for Santas, and yet he just chooses the same guy every time. That's just hilarious to me. All right. Anyways, let's wrap this up.
Okay, so we see Saturday Mundo with a really cool looking tree. I gotta tell you, it's a really cool looking tree.
Yeah.
And he's wearing then the kids come in, they're wearing elf hats or like Christmassy themed hats, and he's like caught off guard. But oh hey, you guys, then they walk in there and basically they're airing out what the lessons they've learned. Like we were wrong, we should have been here. Just, I realize you guys are growing up and stuff. Why I kept these traditions alive? It's for really kept these traditions alive. It meant a lot to your mom,
Mm-hmm.
But really, what you would have wanted is for us to be together like a family. That's really what she wants.
And so with that, Reggie brings in the longboard, and Raimundo has a hilarious reaction to it. It's like, the longboard from the shop! Whoa. He sees his reflection. He's just like, whoa.
Basically, he's doing his Keanu Reeves.
Whoa. Pretty much.
Then Raimundo gives him some really sweet gifts. He says, I was waiting until you're old enough, and I think the time is right now. Here you go. Open it up, and we see Otto's gift is basically a coin or a necklace that was
recovered from a sunken ship on a scuba expedition.
Yeah, he and Raimundo, or at least their mother, found.
Mm-hmm.
And then Regina opens hers, and it's like a little clam music box that was a prize. Not just a little clam music box, it has a little figurette in there because it's a prize, the first prize for a surfing contest that their mother got.
I thought that was great because it's like, it gives us a tiny little bit of insight onto the mother, but it doesn't really explain anything. Mm-hmm. And I think this show is kind of powerful in the way that it never really addresses the mother, but she's still kind of there. You know what I mean? Like, the presence and the loss of her is felt. They just never really get into it.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, anyway, so yeah. And then to tap off the episode, Raimundo's just like, now why don't we start a new Christmas tradition? A surfing tradition.
Surfing and Christmas hats. That's awesome.
There you go. That was Rocket Xmas. What do you think?
I thought it rocked. No, it was good. It was good. It was the Raimundo bits, and of course the Santa school is really hilarious.
Yeah, I think the only two kind of weak spots in it were the Lars bit, which I agree was kind of very forced, and then also the dog poop bit. But whatever. Yeah. Other than that, I really enjoy this, and like I said, I think it has just a ton of different material for us to go over in terms of the different formulas. So with that in mind, you want to kind of go over some of them really quick, kind of list off a bullet point
sure.
list?
So let's see, with kind of our progression here, with kind of our Christmas tropes, we got our character. I guess Otto's our proverbial Scrooge. I mean, he makes mistakes, so I guess we'll just make him Scrooge. He comes around on by the end. He makes the realization.
Yes.
And again, Reg is just kind of like more of the pseudo Scrooge. She's like.
I don't consider Reg a Scrooge at all because it's like she's not enjoying it, but she's still very sympathetic all the way through. So
Yeah, but I mean, she has the same realization as Otto, though, which makes I'm saying that's why I say pseudo very light. Like she's barely a Scrooge. I'm saying she does kind of
Barely.
their arc is intertwined though, so it's kind of important.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's that. So basically, characters coming to a realization, kind of a lot of family and traditions. That's something we have with a big old Christmas trope right there.
Someone who's obsessed with Christmas, kids kind of growing out of Christmas.
Yeah, certainly.
Christmas in a setting you wouldn't really associate with Christmas.
Whereas again, this summary setting for Christmas time, which is all what our show's all about, really.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Anything.
Of course, the big gift, the coveted item, the Red Ryder BB gun, if you will.
Sir. Certainly, and of course, scramble for like the last minute Christmas save, which is kind of like our Christmas
classic.
move, like the whole sack full of money.
Mm-hmm.
You know that thing.
Anything else?
Well, I think that just kind of. Well, also kind of like there's the Christmas romantic. That is basically the guy who just wants to make that one Christmas miracle happen. That would be Tito in this case.
yeah, that's true.
He wants something desperately to change, even though it's kind of like odds are against him.
And you know what? We even get a little bit of Christmas magic with Tito and the dogs, if you will.
Yeah, Tito and the dogs, and we get a nice old sleigh ride there. So we get the kind of Santa Claus being a big fixture of the episode, and then also Army of Santa Clauses, which we've gotten. There are in a few Christmas-related things, definitely.
No, that's true. Yeah, that is kind of a thing.
And of course, it's Tito wanting to be Santa's helper, which is also another thing where people wanting to really assist Santa, like Ed from the Ed and Ed Christmas especially want to be Santa's helper real bad.
Oh my god.
Overall, they're kind of our staples of the Christmas formula there. So before we go, we should probably I think we should peek beneath the wrapping paper a little bit.
You want to do the list first?
Oh, sorry. Yep, silly mate. Yeah. Let's look.
All right, set up the list.
Santa Claus. Our list is pretty much we decided this year to kind of list off what we've talked about so far, and by the end, we'll have like 31 entries, 31 little names to go over by the end of this, to show you how far we've come, how much we've dedicated to this little thing we're doing here this season around.
So we have Rugrats Let It Snow. We have Batman Brave and the Bold, Invasion of the Secret Santas, I Love Lucy Christmas Show, and The Bells of Fraggle Rock, and then Rocket Xmas. There you go. All right, and next episode of Christmas in July, BlueDragonFive. This is one of your picks, so you want to set it up?
Sure. So, folks, we're starting to get into kind of the emotional ones here. We got All in the Family as our next exploration of Christmas in July. It's gonna be beautiful. You're gonna cry my little leap. But before we get to the actual huge hard hitting one, we're gonna save that one for another time. But we're gonna get into a really solid one of the very famous All in the Family Christmas specials.
This is the one with the
yes.
The Draft Dodger, right?
Yes, the Draft Dodger. A very controversial one, but a very, very high concept, really good one for the time.
Nice. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. My dad was just talking about All in the Family yesterday, talking about what a good show it was. And I haven't really seen a lot of it. I mean, I watched it on Nick at Night, but unlike something like I Love Lucy or Gilligan's Island, I don't really think the humor translated to like really young kids. You know what I mean? Because with I Love Lucy, you can just, at the core, you can laugh at Ricky Ricardo's Spanish accent and Lucy's ridiculous reactions and stuff like that,
You see, Tiki, it's like All in the Family, they have a string of really famous Christmas specials.
So we'll be looking at two of them. And so, yeah, like we said, yes, tomorrow we'll do the Draft Dodger, and then
we'll save a special one for some other time.
Oh, yeah. All right, so I feel like this was a very good episode of Christmas in July, BlueDragonFive. I had a lot of fun, a lot of totally tubular, radical. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of worn out at this point, but no, seriously, I felt like we were really on point. This was a good time. So yeah, like this episode of Rocket Power definitely illustrated. I think this is probably, at least for 2015's Christmas in July, this is probably the most tropes that we've seen in one episode, and that's kind of what we do here on Christmas in July. We collect the tropes, we look at them, we examine them, we see what works, where it doesn't, and at the end of the day, that's what we're all about. That's what we're here to do. That's what we want to accomplish.
And how do we set out on that task, Tiki? How do we go about that?
We go about that by putting the mistletoe underneath the microscope. Fa la la la
La
la
la la
la.
la. Next time.
Next time on Christmas in July. God damn it. I'm sorry.
La 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 la. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go do my own puppet show.